Welcome to the Blue Podcast Network. This is the Gold Show, the Premier League show, episode number 23. Today I'm here with Kian, Ubaid and Matt, and we are doing our Premier League predictions for the remainder of the season. So we're going to go from 20th to 1st. Let's get started with who's in 20th.
Might be a bit of a shock here if I've gone with Southampton.
Yeah.
I think we can all, we've all got
Saints, everyone's, I mean, really struggled under Russell Martin at the start of the season, sort of played themselves into trouble on numerous occasions, I would say.
I think he's a big part of why they're going to get relegated, because he was trying to basically force a big move by playing a really nice style of football, which was never going to work with the squad he had.
And he also didn't change it, did he? He was he was so set in his ways, very naive about it, and just wouldn't change, even if they were 3-0 down kind of thing. And I personally think Juric has done not a great job, obviously, because they're not winning games, but he's done okay, in my opinion. Southampton look a better team with Juric than they did with Martin. And obviously got that win against Ipswich the other week. So I think they are slightly improving, but not to stay up, mind. No, that's not going to happen.
Their team's just not good enough.
No.
They have, I think, by far the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I think it is too little too late to save Southampton. Unfortunately, 19th place. What are we saying for this one?
Go on, you guys.
Ipswich Town for me, 19th.
I've got Leicester City.
I've got Leicester City.
I've got Leicester City.
All got Leicester City to finish.
I've watched this
19th.
this season. We don't deserve to finish any higher than 19th. I don't think we will either.
Right,
okay. We're just not good enough. That's the simple cut and dry of it. We haven't made any signings, really. We've made one signing worth less than £2 million. That's not what you do when you're in a relegation battle. So I don't see us staying up.
Right.
I was torn between 19th and 18th, but obviously it doesn't really matter because I think both will go down.
Yeah, I mean it could finish either way. I think we know who you've got next, and you know who we've got next.
Right. Yeah. Does anyone not have the 3 promoted teams in the relegation zone?
No. I've got Ipswich and
18th. Everyone going. All the promoted teams then predicted to go down.
The gaps is too big now. Like we were literally winning basically every week last season. And it was so fun because we went into every game basically thinking we were going to win unless something went wrong. And this season, a win is a miracle. Like it shouldn't be that varied. Like we shouldn't be able to win as many games in the Championship, and we shouldn't be able to lose as many in the Prem. It should be more even.
Right.
Well, I think Leicester going forward are actually okay. Like you've got some good players going forward. You've got obviously El Canoes. Obviously, Buonanotte somehow doesn't play, but
I don't think him and Ruud get on. I also think with Buonanotte, which I've questioned before as well, is his attitude. I don't think he's got the best attitude necessarily, and it's a bit like what happened with Fatu under Steve Cooper. He's a really good player, but is he going to make the right decisions, or is he a bit too rash? Does he need to be left out of the squad, come on the bench to get that experience and kind of broken in more? But he's not breaking in Buonanotte enough.
So where do you think it has gone wrong for Leicester City then, if you think your club are going to finish second bottom in the Premier League?
Well, the simple bit of it is the back four that we're using this season was the same back four that got relegated in the 22-23 season. The exact same one. Why the club hierarchy thinks that's going to work, I don't know. But you can't use the same back four that shipped goals for fun the season we went down and expect something to change, even if you've got one of the better goalkeepers in the league in the team.
So do you think that Ipswich Town and Leicester City have much of a chance of staying up, or do you think it is pretty much done?
I think it's between them and who I've got in 17th.
Right, okay.
Probably all got 17th, the same as well, I'd imagine.
Okay, let's go through 17th, then we could talk a little bit more about the relegation zone. I've got Wolves in 17th. Everyone has got Wolves. Yeah, I think that is pretty, set in stone, really. I think that will be the team in 17th.
Well, I think if they didn't keep hold of Cunha, they were in trouble. And obviously signing a new contract now, and I think I've said it on the show for quite a few weeks now, actually. If Cunha went, they would have gone down, in my opinion, and Ipswich or maybe Leicester could have just edged it.
I think it's close. It will be closer than people think because, a couple shock results here and there for either us or Ipswich, and there is a chance because I don't think Wolves are all that good. Like they've got Cunha, yes, but who else have they got? They got 8. I guess they got 8 Nori, but other than that, they've not got much quality in that team. They made some good January signings, which is why I put them higher than the other teams, but I don't think they're actually as much better as people are saying they are.
They got João Gomez in midfield.
Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah, and I like Strand Larsen up top. I think he
get
is a
goals.
decent striker. Watched him a lot at Celta Vigo last season, and he was a good player.
No, he's
and
good.
He's done decently well, and I just think, yeah, as you said, it will be between Ipswich Town, Leicester City, and Wolves for who stays in the Prem. Can you really see anyone else get dragged into that? I think
Not anymore,
all the
no.
other
Far
teams are
gone
too
now.
far gone.
Yeah,
If
David
we'd
Moyes done
have
well.
got a result at Goodison, it was all open, but that game's gone now, so...
Yeah.
I just think under Moyes.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
look really
Moyes
good.
is good. There's a reason I wanted Moyes from the start of the season. I said, from the moment Enzo left, I said, bring in Moyes. He'll steady the ship, put him on a 1-year contract, and then get someone more ambitious in, like, who's going to take us further forward. But we didn't do that.
No, not in the end, unfortunately, for Leicester City. Still a chance, though, of staying in the league. Who's everyone got in 16th place?
Everton.
Yeah.
Everton?
I was torn on this one, but I did put Everton because I do think they've got a good chance of pushing up the table.
Okay.
The way they're playing, they are really good, I think. I think they could finish higher, but then I wasn't really sure who they'd finish above, so I left them there.
Yeah, no, I have got West Ham 16th, actually,
Really?
instead
Have
of
you?
Everton. Yeah, I just think the way that it's going with David Moyes, of course, they're looking pretty good. I feel like in terms of West Ham, of course, got Graham Potter in. I think it's going to take a bit more time for them to get used to his system. So I think that is why they are going to finish 16th. As for Everton, like, they seem pretty comfortable with the style that David Moyes is playing already. Of course, the 4-0 win, beating Tottenham as well. Brighton away from home, I mean, that is a massive win.
I think it's very similar to Deitch, and that's helped them a lot because I think that they've just kind of adapted, made the slight tactical tweaks, and they're flying with it.
Yeah.
They got a result. They got a chance of getting a result against you tonight. I think not a win, but a draw. I think, and that's a big result for them.
Yeah, I mean, for context, we are recording this on Wednesday. Of course, Everton have got
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Huge.
Wednesday night, title race, big game, and the last Merseyside derby ever at Goodison Park as well. So
Yeah.
that should be a very interesting game. But who has everyone got in 15th position?
This where I said before the show, I've got a team that I think will drop off this second half of the season, and I think it'll be Brentford.
Oh, really?
I was tempted, but I've not put them this low.
I just think
15th?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think they've lost that home record they had. That
Okay.
unreal home record at the start of the season. They've started losing a lot of home games. I know they've obviously got Mbeumo and Wissa, but if they get injured as well, I think it's even more likely they drop even further.
Right.
And I just don't think defensively they're good enough at all. I know they've brought in a new right back. Is it Coyote?
Yes, yeah.
Which they needed. But no, I just think Brentford will drop off this second half of the season. I just
Fair
can't.
enough. No,
Right, that's
I
fair.
can see it. I've got West Ham. I think
West
that's the
Ham
more logical
15th.
one.
Yeah, and then
I've got Tottenham.
Tottenham. Wow.
I mean, to be fair, I've not got them much higher. but-
No. Give me your reasons for why Tottenham are going to
Well-
finish 15th.
I'll be honest. I think 15th to about 11th. There's not much in it.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
completely
maybe even
agree.
10th. Maybe even 10th.
Okay.
They've got a lot of injuries, but also I don't think they're playing all that well, and they're a bit too naive. They're a bit too dumb. I think they're going to drop so many points,
Right.
and again, I think it's going to be close. But
I think it depends on injuries as well, doesn't it? Like if they have all their key players come back, they've got more of a chance.
that's a
but-
big if because their centre backs are very. Well, I don't know if they're injury prone or it's the way they
I don't know
play.
what's happened with Van der Ven. Like every time he comes back, his leg just falls off again.
Because
Basically.
Andrush is in back. That's the issue.
Yeah.
But is it on Ange though?
Well, this is what we said. That we had this debate like a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? And me and Kean both said it was. You, Lloyd, were more saying it was on the medical staff, but I think it's definitely a lot on Ange.
Yeah, I think this is just unforeseen circumstances. I do not think we have ever seen an injury crisis quite like this.
We
to
have
be
at
completely honest.
other clubs, I think.
Yeah, but maybe at other clubs, but like
Not a big six.
Not
this-
okay. Yeah, not a big
this-
six,
yeah, this-
but smaller clubs. Yeah.
so many players have been injured for them this season. I mean, it is ridiculous. Like, they have one game and then another two players gets injured or something like that. One player comes back, then he gets injured again. I think Richarlison got injured in the game against Liverpool, maybe.
Did.
Yeah, so
It's the
he is
system,
now
though.
out.
It's so clearly the system. Like that's the reason it's happening.
But then again, like, Antonio Conte played such a intense style of football at Tottenham, and he did not get as many injuries. So I mean, Like,
He did, but it was a bit different.
Yeah, it's different.
yeah, it is a bit different for sure.
Well,
But
it's like someone like Poch as well. He gets so many injuries because of the way he trains. Maybe Ange is similar.
yeah. I mean, I can see that point. I just think that this is a ridiculous amount. I mean, Arsenal have had a fair few injuries this season, but Tottenham are taking it to a different level, in my opinion. I mean, Kai Havertz has just got injured as well out in Dubai. I think they
now
are
have
at the moment,
zero
which is not
attacking
good.
players to play against us. They have Leandro Trossard and maybe Nwaneri, and that's it.
Yeah, I think I saw Arteta say actually that it could be Mikel Merino up top.
Or-
Yeah,
which-
because Trossard,
Yeah.
Martinelli's out, Havertz is out, Saka's out. Well, who can you play there? Other
Yeah.
than Trossard.
Trossard and Wanyeri.
Yeah, not got the options.
They'll
have
just
they?
end up playing Lewis Skelly.
The thing is, they'll still win easily anyway. It doesn't matter.
No, we will get onto that when we predict certain matches later. 14th place then. Who have we got in this position?
I've got Tottenham Hotspur.
I have Tottenham Hotspur.
Right, Tottenham as well. I do too. I just cannot see it getting much better for them at this point. The season is practically a null and void, apart from maybe trying to progress far in the Europa League.
No.
That is the last thing that they have got going on. I mean, it depends who they
It's
play at the same time.
It's a club that has, like, this sounds really harsh, but it's a club that has no ambition at the moment. Like, if you look at their fans, they've given up. Like, it's literally just a fan base that's given up on supporting the club. They're just miserable now, like, going to games. And I've seen that they're protesting Levy even more now. But yeah, like, any Spurs fan I've spoken to says, I'm not going to go anymore. I can't be bothered. Like, that's how they feel.
Who have you got in 14th?
I've got
grade?
Brentford.
Brentford.
So we
Brentford,
just switched
okay.
last, pretty
Yeah,
much.
one position difference for you guys. But yeah, I just, with Ange Postecoglou, who do they get in if they sack him?
It's on both, but like Tottenham fans last year, they were like, "Oh, we play attacking football. We're so good." You've got what you wanted. They said all they want is attacking football. You've got that.
And they fell off after that incredible
Yeah.
game against Chelsea.
But I also
Yeah.
feel like they need to just like I don't know if this is harsh, but I feel like their fans are just a bit weird because
What do you mean weird?
well, they're all weird because they support Tottenham, but at the same time, like they're like, "Oh, we want attacking football," but then when it comes to drop,
Yeah.
it's like
I think the problem is that there's a difference between attacking football and what Ange plays, because Ange plays like ultra attacking football. Like it's almost too much.
But the thing is, even last year when they were dropping off, they were like, "Oh no, all we want is attacking football." But now they're crying again. It's like, what do you want? Do you want attacking football? Do you want to win trophies?
I think they're starting to realise that attacking football doesn't necessarily work, and that's why you're seeing less and less managers using it.
Yeah.
Because what Pep's done for the game is basically mean that you have to use that slower build-up style for it to work, unless you're going to counter-attack.
Yeah, like Forest.
Yeah, if you play like Forest, by all means, use pace, counter-attack, and be attacking. But Forest don't play attacking football. They sit in a horrible low block.
I mean,
But I think it's more entertaining to watch than Tottenham. Forest says.
we will get on to Forest, but obviously last night was the first time we had loads of possession
That's
in
what
the
I mean.
game.
I think if you give Forest the ball
and
in a
we
game,
struggled.
if
We
you give
struggled.
Forest the ball in the game, they won't know what to do. That's what I would do if I was managing a game against Forest at the moment. You put everyone behind the ball, say, well, there you go, you have the ball, and see what they do.
Well, we'll move on to Forest in a bit.
Yeah.
Should we go up to 13th?
13th in the table.
I've got West Ham.
You got West Ham.
I think they're just better under Potter.
Okay.
And obviously, when they've got Bowen back from injury, I think they'll be firing.
Right.
They really impressed me against Aston Villa the other week. And yeah, they've got a good squad. Paqueta looks like he's getting back to his best, which we haven't seen for a while, I want to say.
Yeah, in
I'd
terms
agree with
of
that.
the elite level performances that he can
'Cause
produce.
he was best player on the pitch when they played Villa. And yeah, I just think they've got a good squad, and Potter, I think, is just making them better, and their fans are biding into Potter's ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I mean, I just think it's going to take a fair while to
Yeah,
be fair.
same.
Who
I've
have
got
you
West
guys
Ham
got?
too.
You have West Ham as well.
I've got Brentford.
Brentford.
Okay.
I've got Manchester United.
Ooh.
He's
Ooh.
in third low.
Is there a bit of bias
the
in there?
table.
Them
No,
low.
It wouldn't
no,
surprise me,
no.
but-
I think this could definitely happen. I do not see a reason why not. You know, they are so up and down. Inconsistency. I mean, they have to keep Ruben Amorim anyway. Like, he has to stay.
They can't
There
get
is
rid of him.
no, exactly. Like,
Cannot.
he needs a long time with this team. And Manchester United are just so up and down at the moment. Like one game, they get a scrappy win. The next, they are struggling to beat Southampton at home for 75 minutes. They managed to get the win, but that was I would say, a poor performance.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I look at Manchester United's squad. There is talent there, but this is going to take a long time. They just lost their best centre-back as well, out for the rest of the season. I think that is a massive
That
loss.
is a big loss, to be
Lissandro
fair.
Martinez. 13th, maybe they can push up to 11th. I cannot see them finishing top 10.
How many good performances have they actually had though under Amorim? I can't think of many. Even when they beat City,
I mean, Liverpool, they played
Liverpool
well.
was their
Okay,
best,
yeah.
probably
Liverpool,
performance
they
of the season.
played well. But since the new year, really, I'm struggling.
Do you not think he needs to adapt instead of playing the same system?
No, I think he has his philosophy and his style of play, and he will stick with that regardless. I'd be very surprised if he ends up trying to tactically tweak it and change the system. The players have got to get used to it.
I mean,
He is not going anywhere. That style of play is not going anywhere. He has just got to try and get the best out of the players.
I mean, I was doing a live the other night, which you can all check out on TikTok. We do live streams every day.
That we do.
And I was speaking about United because I was doing the Man United Leicester FA Cup watch along.
Don't bring up that game.
But no, I was just arguing with this United fan, saying how Amorim needs to go, and you've got to give him pre-season. Like, what pre-season can do for a manager and squad is not talked about enough.
No,
It's what they need, and they can't keep sacking managers. It's more than a manager issue at United. It
needs a complete overhaul.
Yeah, they've got players with huge egos, and it's just not like good, well, sustainable to go forward to have these kind of players. They need a massive clear out and an actual good transfer window where they're getting just hungry players that aren't, and even just paying big. I think if you're paying big, that's the risk they're taking, and obviously it's not worked for United. Maybe look at players like your Brightons are looking, or look in Brazil where there's quality in Brazil, and it doesn't cost much.
Yeah, I mean, even years ago they missed out on the opportunity to sign
Caicedo.
Moises Caicedo, I think, from Independiente. I think it
The
was.
other thing I'd do if I was them is bleed in their youth a bit. Their season's pretty much over now. They're not going to win the Premier League. They're not going to finish in Europe. Bleed in the youth. Get them good for next season, so that if you need backup in those positions, they're good enough and they've got Premier experience.
Do you think they have much chance of winning a trophy, FA Cup, Europa League?
The FA Cup's their best chance.
Yeah, with the teams
Maybe.
left in the FA Cup.
Because it's really them or United
Or Newcastle.
or
Villa.
Forest.
I think it is a wide open race, the FA Cup, actually. I think half the 6 or 7 of the teams have got a shot of winning
You're the
it.
highest placed team left in the
Yeah,
competition.
we are the
to leave you out of
highest
it.
ranked team.
Yeah.
But no, I think we'll quickly touch on the FA Cup. It's so interesting now that Arsenal are out, Liverpool are out, Chelsea are out, Spurs are out. It's just so interesting this year. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, we got to get past Ipswich next.
Yeah, so I had Manchester United in 13th. Who did you guys end up having?
West
You've
Ham,
already mentioned it.
Brentford.
West Ham, Brentford. Okay, so sort of similar positions to where everyone else has sort of got them. I've just got West Ham a little bit lower down.
Yeah.
12th place, I do have Brentford.
Mm.
I do think that they will finish 12th. Like, as you said, defensively they've not been the best, but I actually think they have a pretty good midfield. I quite like the balance they've got in there. Nurgaard, Janelt, Damsgaard as well in the midfield at times. Then, of course, Mbeumo and Visser, who are both really good for them, scoring lots and lots of goals. I see a 12th place finish. And I mean, to be fair, they have had some pretty tough home fixtures, I think, as you were saying. I think they have had Arsenal, Liverpool. I want to say they had Manchester City recently as well. I cannot remember who they.
We had them just before Christmas.
Yeah.
So
It's been a tough home run for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they will finish 12th. Who have you guys got?
I've got Fulham.
Fulham.
I think they'll drop off as well.
I don't think
Right.
that's that bad of a prediction. I don't agree with it, but I don't think it's a bad
Okay.
prediction necessarily.
I have them a bit higher than
I have
that.
a bit
Yeah,
higher.
same.
I've got
They're-
Palace in 12th.
They're
I
sat
have
in-
Palace as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're-
Okay.
Well, Fulham are sat in at the minute. I want to say the
Ninth.
9th. Thank you. But no, I know Fulham are a good side, but I just think there's teams around them that will just edge it for me.
Right.
Obviously, I'll talk about them in my next few predictions, but I think Fulham can be up there. But I think the second half of the season's where they kind of drop off a little bit. And I think come the end of the season, they're going to be on the beach by like 5-6 games to go with nothing to play for. So it might just drag them down a little bit.
Okay.
It depends. Other teams react different to when they've got nothing to play for.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
no, definitely. I have them a little bit higher, but Fulham, they have impressed me this season. Why have you two gone for Crystal Palace in 12th?
I think the teams that I've put above, I think they're going to finish higher.
Right. No other reason?
Palace finish 12th every season. I don't think they're that consistent. They've only really started performing well for the last 5 or 6 games, and I know form's important, but if you look at the teams they've played, they're teams that are below them, most of them.
Right.
Like, they played us, they played West Ham. Can't remember who else they beat.
They beat
but
United.
They beat United, but again, United are below them at the moment.
Yeah.
They've not actually beaten many teams you'd expect them not to beat. They've got Everton coming up at home. That's a big game if they can win that. Maybe then I would change it. But looking at the games they've got left, they've got a lot of hard fixtures. Like they've got a run of Man City away, Bournemouth at home, Arsenal away, then Forest at home, and then you could say Spurs away is hard, and then Liverpool away last game. That's a hard run. I don't see them picking up many points in that. if any.
Okay.
They got Jean-Philippe Mateta, so
They do have
They
Mateta.
do, yeah.
And
I
I think they've been a little bit unfortunate this season, I've got to be honest, in certain games.
They started off. I don't think they started off the best, did they?
No, not in terms of their
they were
results.
really poor at the
No.
start of the season.
But I just think every team I've got them above them are better.
Right.
Yeah, so do I.
Okay. 11th place then.
I've got Manchester United.
So do
Manchester
I.
United.
I've got Brighton.
You have got Brighton.
Ooh, I can
I've got
see
Brighton
it.
as well.
I originally had Brighton and I changed it as we were filming because I didn't think anyone else would agree with that.
Right.
But I'm glad now because people have agreed. But I think Brighton are my team that I think are going to drop off.
Right.
You've seen it in recent weeks. They've not been good at all.
Indeed.
Yeah, they've got 7-0.
Yeah.
And then 7
But not even just that. Like, look at their form over the last
Yeah.
few Premier League games. They've been awful. Like, and they've got hard games as well coming up. Like, I think they will really drop off.
Yeah, you can argue that they have regressed from De Zerbi last season, I think, actually, rather than actually kicked on and tried to get themselves higher up the table.
But I don't think you can put Man United much higher than 11th, which is
No.
why Brighton have to be in 10th for me.
Right,
I
okay.
think United's quality just edges them a little bit. Like your Bruno Fernandes, your Amad Diallo's, they're just going to edge them over just a bit.
Okay.
But no, with Brighton, if Hurtzler isn't as naive as he was against us, I think they should be fine. But they've got a good squad.
They do.
They've
They've
got
still
a really good squad.
They do, definitely. They've still got some quality players. João Pedro, Matoma. Of course, Danny Welbeck was firing at the start of the season. He's had a little bit of injury issues. But, yeah, they do have a solid side.
Just don't line up with Jack Hinchelwood as your only midfielder.
Yeah, that was not the
Yeah.
best move, was it, at all? I've got to be totally honest. That was not great. So, we're into the top 10. Who's everyone got in 10th? Brighton,
I've got United.
Manchester United.
I've got Palace.
I have Crystal Palace as well.
You love that, Lloyd.
I really like, as I said, I think Glasner's a really solid manager. I like the system they've got going on. Daniel Munoz, for me, is one of the best right-backs in the league this season. I
He's
think he's
very
been
good.
exceptional. Tyrick Mitchell, I think, has had a solid campaign as well. Maxence Lacroix, Mark Gahey at the back, solid.
Hate to say it, but Will Hughes.
Will Hughes, yeah,
He's
Will
got a
Hughes been
Champions
doing
League
really
winner now.
well. And I mean, like, Mateta's been firing. Eze is sort of getting back to his form in recent weeks. And then also, like, Sarr.
He's
has
been good, yeah.
as well. Like, they have a good squad. Dean Henderson in goal, forgot to mention him, having a really good season, I think, too. So,
they've got a good squad. I think that 12th to 10th range, any of those teams could finish anywhere in that range, but
yeah.
I don't know who will finish where, but I think those teams kind of will finish in that area, but I'm not sure where.
Okay. Yeah. So, we both went for Palace.
I went United.
You went Manchester
I
United.
had Brighton.
Brighton. Oh, okay.
I think we'll come back to this prediction at the end of, the league predictions at the end of the season. See how,
we
see
will
how
have
we
a
all
look.
did, see how
Yeah,
we all did.
100%. We've got to have
We'll
a look at
Of
this.
course, we'll have a look.
And see, like, some of the outrageous opinions.
So
I don't think
see
any
if
have
they
been
have-
outrageous so far.
no, nothing too outrageous.
Nothing too outrageous.
I think you've all raised an eyebrow with me about Fulham and Brentford.
Yeah,
I
I think
Fulham's kind of the one. Brentford, I don't mind that. I think Brentford, I can see that, but Fulham,
Yeah, this is when my prediction begins to get a bit outrageous.
Eighth to first is the hard. Well, eighth to third is the hard one for me. That's
Yeah.
really
Well,
hard.
we've got ninth place
Ninth,
first.
Who's everyone got ninth?
Brighton.
Fulham.
Fulham.
Aston Villa.
Really?
Ooh.
Okay, that's
Well, that makes me feel better about my top eight
Yeah.
then.
yeah.
Aston Villa, for me, I think the Champions League at this stage, it is taking a toll on the team.
Yeah,
In all honesty, I think it is.
I don't think they're good.
In terms of the actual performances, have they been as good as last season? I don't think so. The games have certainly not helped. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's brilliant to see Aston Villa in the Champions League. Hopefully they go on and do well in the competition. But I just think having the balance of those two competitions alongside each other, I think it may become a little bit too much for them.
My opinion on that is letting John Duran go is the biggest mistake they'll make.
They've got Rashford though.
Yeah, but John Duran will be one of the best players, I reckon. Like in England in a few years if he chooses to come back.
I don't think he's coming
But
back.
so-
No, I do not think he's
I
coming
can
back.
see it coming. I can
The
see
money he's on.
getting the money, going out there getting the money. If he comes back, he'll still be a solid Prem striker, and he'll only improve. He's what 23.
Yeah, he's not very
Younger, I think.
He might be
Yeah,
21.
he
Well,
might, yeah.
he's going to be a ridiculous talent.
he's a
I
massive
wouldn't have let him go.
But I, feel like the
really
money-
wouldn't.
The money was so much.
Yeah,
and
the money they had to accept.
Rashford isn't a bad option to bring it, and they brought Asensio.
No, I
in,
know.
they
Yeah, but
brought
then
in-
again, is he in a is like
He's alone though. He's not going to
an
stay,
out, he's not an out
He's
striker.
not.
and he's
but-
not going to stay. He's going to be alone, and he will move on.
Yeah, I think
I could see him staying if
I
he
don't.
does well. I think Unai Emery will want to keep him.
I think if he does well, he'll want to go back to United.
Yeah, same.
I catched a bit of Villa's game against Tottenham in the FA Cup, and he was actually pressing players. Believe it or not, he was actually sprinting at players, which we haven't seen from Rashford for so long
Well, if
now.
you take the player out of United,
Well, he has
Yeah.
to. He doesn't really have a choice because he's
Well,
not going
at
to play
United-
otherwise.
At United, he was walking, wasn't he?
Well,
he was just
I mean, because he's coming to a new situation. He sort of has to.
yeah,
improve.
yeah. I get that, but I think it's a bit different.
right.
Yeah.
no, I do think Villa drop off from
Yeah,
a lot from last season.
I just struggle to see it happening. Really, you know.
I don't think that's outrageous
like,
at all.
No, I just
The-
yeah.
The teams above, I mean, I wouldn't put them ninth, I don't think, but the teams above Aston Villa are just better. They're going to do better.
Yeah. Okay. So top 8.
Villa
What are we
eighth
saying?
for
I've
me.
I've got Villa.
I've got Villa.
You all got
I
Aston
did
Villa.
not think we'd all agree on what.
Okay,
like,
all got
on that
Aston
kind of
Villa.
thing.
I've got Fulham.
I'm going to presume you
Yeah.
had Fulham there.
Wow.
Fulham in 8th. Yeah. I was really worried coming into the start of the season about Fulham. Actually, the business that they did selling Palhinha, I thought would have been a colossal loss, and they've proved me wrong. Anthony
Yeah.
Robinson is having the season of his life. Raul Jimenez, not starting every game, but he's got a decent goal tally. Smith Rowe chipped in at times. Like Anderson coming in, I think has been a solid signing for them at centre back. They look really good. To be fair, I've got to give them credit. I think they've been really, really
I
good.
saw this thing earlier, which was a Fulham 11 from like 3 years ago. And if you look at it and you imagine if they had all those players now, they would be like unstoppable. They'd
That's
have
right back in the
they'd have Lookman, they'd have Mitrovic,
Yeah.
they have all the good players they have now as well.
Olorina.
Sambo
have Arne, yeah.
Sambo Anguissa.
So I mean, they had a
Yeah.
ridiculous team.
They did have a good team. They did definitely.
Areola as well, who was good when he was at Fulham.
I'm starting to think my prediction for Fulham might be harsh.
Maybe? Do you reckon? I just think they've been really good this season actually overall. Like, I mean, they've got some big wins. Of course, they just recently beat Newcastle United away from home.
Which is massive.
Which-
They
yeah.
broke that run of
Like-
what 9 games unbeaten.
Like,
we've
you know,
got them
broke
on
that.
we've got them on Saturday. So
Yeah, I think that would be a tough game. But yeah, just looking at it, I think Fulham are really good. And then you've all got Aston Villa 8th, so you
Yeah.
all think they miss out on European football.
no, they get confident. No,
No,
Seventh.
they won't. 7th will get conference.
No, I just
Unless
think
they win the. Are they still in the cup?
Yeah,
They-
still
they
in the
could.
cup.
Still in the FA Cup,
yeah,
so they could get Europa
potentially,
League.
potentially.
And then they're still in the Champions
they've
League.
got-
Could you
yeah,
imagine
they've
they go ahead and win the Champions
I
League?
think they'll get far.
Do you
because,
reckon?
Yeah.
A Villa fan would take that, even if you could take them finishing 17th, and if they won the Champions League, they wouldn't
Oh,
care.
100%.
I mean, obviously they've got now big centre-back issues with obviously Mings is now out. I don't know how
Konsa.
long out for. Konsa
Yeah.
got subbed off injured at the weekend. So I think they had a back. I think we were looking, weren't we? They had a centre-back partnership of Kamara and Bogard.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, you got a
Pau
defense.
Torres injured then.
Yeah,
Pau Torres
Ooh.
injured. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great.
massive amount of injuries into the top 7. Then European spots. What are we saying?
AFC Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Oh, I think I'm going to get smacked for this one.
Okay.
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Oh.
Well, Ubay does not look.
I have an
happy.
even more outrageous opinion.
What?
Manchester City.
Seventh.
Seventh place. I really, when I've watched City this season for a lot of the time, this might come back to bite me, and it probably will. But when I've watched Manchester City, I just think, even last night, right, for context, Real Madrid last night against Manchester City, they should have won that game by about 3 or 4 goals.
Look,
in all honesty, they should have done
City?
Real Madrid.
Oh, Madrid.
Real
yeah.
Madrid. The
I was gonna
chances
say,
that they had,
yeah.
they should have won. And I look at City's team, it's not clicking. There's other teams above them who I think are playing better. Out of the teams right now, I would rather play Manchester City than, let's say, I'd rather play Man City than Bournemouth. In all
So would
honesty.
I.
Yeah, no, so would I.
In
I
all
think
honesty,
most people
I would.
Most
I would.
people would.
And then Nottingham Forest gave us more of a tougher games over the two than Manchester City did at Anfield.
They've got the experience though. Look, I will, on the podcast, I will shake your hand and say I'll give you a tenner if they finish seventh,
very
because
well,
I really
well.
don't think that.
No,
I really
no,
don't think
no,
that. I'll
I've
give
put-
you a
I've-
tenner if that happens.
I've put them there because I've not been impressed. I've really not been
That's
impressed.
I feel like they're just going to have to go on a bit of a run, though. Like,
Yeah,
at the end of the season,
But
they'll
are
have...
they? Like,
Yeah, I think they will.
But I-
really? So who's going to take them on that run? Phil Foden's come off injured. Kevin De Bruyne has not been that great this season, I would say. I mean, the Champions League he's been doing decent, but even last night he was pretty poor. Kovacic, I think he's had a solid campaign, but he gave the ball away last night. Ederson made a couple of mistakes. Their back four's not great.
Do you know
There's
what?
so many positions in that
the
Manchester
games they've got
City.
left.
Manchester
they've
City
got hard
team.
games left.
They've got a decent sort of little run towards the end of the season that's a little bit nicer. But the next
not
like
really.
5
They've-
or 6,
they've
yeah,
got-
but the away games are tough as well, aren't they? In that run, I think.
They've
Like-
got hard games, to be honest.
Yeah,
Looking at this,
I see Manchester City this season, and I'm not that impressed.
They seem to, like, gas out after, like, an hour.
yeah.
And they bring Gundogan on.
They are shattered from competing for every possible trophy year in, year out.
Yeah.
It happened to Liverpool when we were 2 games away from winning the quadruple. The next season we finished 5th.
Is that the
like,
COVID?
No, it was not. No, that was the year when Villa went 2-0 up at the Etihad.
Oh, okay.
And we lost the final to Real Madrid as well. So
dear,
that was a
man.
rough week. But I've just not necessarily really been that impressed with Manchester City this season. Don't be wrong, still got the quality in certain positions, but I think they will struggle.
I think I've got them way too high then.
with
yeah.
my
Well,
Chelsea-
mine is an it is an outrageous opinion. It is either gonna make me look like a genius or make me look
As
like
I
an
said,
idiot.
I really don't think
Like-
so.
Or they just come
I'm-
in the middle. and
Exactly.
Come about 5th.
Yeah, which
I-
is definitely possible. Like they could finish 3rd, or they could finish 7th. Like
With-
I think that could happen.
With my Chelsea one, I kind of just think you saw this last season with Maresca that he doesn't really know how to manage the end of the season.
Right.
We got very lucky to win the league, to be honest, last season, because the players basically had a meeting and said, like, look, this is not acceptable. We've like not 1 in 8. We're really bad at the moment. We need to sort this out. And it was that meeting that turned our form around. Maresca didn't really seem to have the answers, and we scored so many last-minute winners. I don't think he knows really how to change it, and there's something wrong with the striking at Chelsea at the moment. Cole Palmer's created, as you said last week, the most big chances in the league, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But he's got 1 assist. Like, something's wrong there.
But
And Bournemouth are better than them, and I think City are better than them. Tell me which teams up there are worse than Chelsea at the moment,
Yeah.
especially on form.
Yeah, but at the moment, come the end of the season, it could click for Chelsea.
It definitely could
But
click.
who's going to miss out then? I seriously don't see.
I
who
think,
misses out.
I think they finished above Bournemouth in the end.
I don't think so.
thing-
I
Okay.
think Bournemouth.
I
I
agree. I agree.
I'd
with
be
you, but we'll get on to
petrified
that.
playing Bournemouth compared to Chelsea.
I agree.
the
I mean,
moment.
our attack is pretty bad. I think every attacker, Sancho, Neto, Palmer, Noni, and Kunku, they've all been so bad.
But is your defence that good? I don't think it is. It's all right, but it's not great.
I don't think the defence has been the problem, though.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't say
That's
that's
the
been
goalkeeper.
you're saying your
Yeah.
attack's not good, and you're saying that your defence is incredible.
But it's not been the issue. The issue, we haven't lost games because of our defence. We've lost games because we can't do anything in the final thirds.
Yeah, then how are you going to finish above 7th? That's what I'm saying. Like,
No, I agree with you. I've gone biased.
you know,
I've just
fair
gone
enough
hopeful.
then. Well, I'm glad you agree with me at least. So, like,
But Yeah, Bournemouth 7th. That's interesting. I think that's a bit low. You know?
I think that's low. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to much
I
higher.
think that's a bit low.
but
give me your reasons for Bournemouth 7th.
What I really want to put them higher because they are absolutely brilliant. They are so good. I want to put them higher, but I just think it's the teams above them. That's
Right.
why. That's the only reason.
Okay.
I think there's 3 teams above him that will definitely come above him.
Right.
But
So,
it's just so.
Yeah. I think 4th is the best they'll get.
Okay.
Obviously, they've got their defensive partnership of Howson and Zabiani are quality.
Oh,
He had
Obviously,
Isak in his
Milos
pocket.
Kerkez at left back, Semenyo, Justin Kluivert's on fire.
Yeah.
Even Dango Otara, who's not a striker.
And like you're Lewis Cook, Ryan Christie.
I don't think
both
there's-
been really
But
solid.
I think like you just said there, but I know obviously Otara scored a hat-trick against us, so I can't really credit him. But if they've got, I think they'll have Otara up front for the rest of the season, and then Lewis Cook obviously at right back. We don't know what's going to happen with Adam Smith and Araujo. Don't know how long they're going to be out for. I just think with that playing players out of position and their injury list at the minute, it might just be a bit too much to put them high.
Okay.
But I don't think there's a team playing better with their injury issues than Bournemouth.
Oh no,
No,
they've
like,
done well.
they've-
They've done well.
they've adapted so well. Like Ouattara up front, he's working wonders. As you said, he scored a hat-trick against you. Like he's been so good.
If you didn't tell me that Bournemouth had 10, 11 injuries, you couldn't tell.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you don't know.
You would have thought that was their full starting 11, the way that they're playing football. Right
I
now.
also think most of the players, I know they've lost a couple of key positions, but most of the players are still their starters. And if they're not their starters, they've probably become them now, I'd say. Like, Housen, for example, wasn't a starter at the start of the season. He definitely is now.
Oh, mate.
Like, that's the thing. So I think they've adapted so
Been
well.
so good.
They're not going to slow down. For me, like, I think even where I've put them, that could be low.
Yeah.
Where I've put them.
I don't think there's been a centre back who's pocketed Isak the way he did in that Newcastle game.
No, he was really. It was really, really good performance, and just overall, like the business that Bournemouth have done, exceptional. The manager, he's brilliant. Like Iraola is tactically.
And I don't
excellent.
see him leaving anytime soon.
No, top 6.
Bournemouth 6.
Bournemouth 6.
I think that's low. To be honest.
Yeah.
They are really good.
I've got Chelsea 6.
Chelsea 6th.
Because I went buys with Chelsea quite high, I had to drop someone out.
Okay,
no,
who have you dropped?
Don't you dare!
You can't tell me you put Forest 6.
Well, I think
He has. Oh my word.
I may have
Tom's
put
not
Forest
happy. Tom's
6th.
not happy with
You've
the
put
context.
Forest below
I don't
Chelsea.
Think, okay, I don't think this is gonna. I think we're gonna come 6th.
Well, you think you're going to finish
But
above
for the
Bournemouth as well?
purpose of the
For the purpose of
predictions.
just to annoy me.
Yeah, for the purpose of this, I've gone Forest.
Right. Okay.
Oh my god.
So you gone Nottingham Forest 6th, Chelsea, Bournemouth.
Chelsea.
I've gone Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea will finish 6th. I am not sure sacking Pochettino was the right decision in the first
Oh no,
place.
it was.
No.
He was awful.
I don't think
No,
so. In all
no,
honesty,
He.
I don't think so.
What did he do that was that good? He got us to a cup final, which we had the easiest route ever. We didn't play a good team apart from Newcastle. He won 5 games in a row. We didn't look good in 3 or 4 of them.
He started clicking at the end of the
I don't
season.
think we were.
Exactly, yeah, it was
I don't think we
getting
played
there.
well against you. I don't think we played that well against Bournemouth. I don't think we played that well against Brighton in the second half, especially.
So do you think the team's improved?
What, our team?
Yeah, under Maresca.
I'm going to say, do you think
Do you
Maresca's
think it's
been
improved?
better a manager for you than he was?
I don't know. I honestly
Like to
don't.
be fair, like
I don't think
up until December, you guys were looking really, really good. I don't know what's gone on the
But
past
I
2
think-
months.
I think the attack is the main thing.
Yeah.
No, I think it has stopped scoring. But don't get me wrong, Maresca is a good manager, but he's no Poch. And I think a club like Chelsea taking a risk on a manager who's had one okay season in the Championship, and I'm going to call it okay because we should have won that league as high as we did.
did.
No, I know, but we should have won that league with the squad we
Yeah.
did.
He's
No,
saying you're
like-
saying like you should have
Like,
run
no
away
matter
with it.
who was in
Yeah.
charge, we should have
You had
stormed
a
that
Premier
league.
League team, pretty much.
And you bought him off of that.
Yeah.
I think that was. I mean, it's a ballsy move and it worked for a few months, but Poch was a much better manager.
We'll see how it goes till the end of the
I
season.
mean, even if you think that, I don't think I don't even know if Maresca's that good as well. Especially
That's what I
for
mean,
what
it's a
we
risk.
want. Well, what the fans
Poch
want.
was better than him. Poch was much better than him.
yeah,
I still think he should have gone.
No, it's fair. That's fair. It's fair enough. You watch Chelsea week in, week out, but yeah, from what I saw, there was definitely some improvements towards the end of the season for Pochettino.
It's 5-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, but like
That's embarrassing.
I get that, but like Chelsea have handed 5-0, 6-0 to Arsenal over the years as well. So
Yeah, but Kai Havertz scored a fucking brace.
I know, but like that Arsenal team were better than Chelsea, like without a doubt.
5-0.
5-0 is embarrassing.
To lose to you
do
in the
not get
cup
me
final
wrong.
as well.
Yeah, to lose to us in the cup final with all the injuries, but Kelleher had the game of his life. Like,
He said we were playing for penalties, for fuck's sake. Like, what are you on about?
Thing is, as long as you've got Chelsea next, like it's not that bad because, I mean, they have been good this season, but I still think fifth is too high.
Okay.
Sixth is too high even.
So top 5. What are we saying?
I've got Manchester City in
You have
fifth.
Manchester
So do I.
City.
Out.
Okay.
So do I.
I've gone Newcastle.
I've got Newcastle as well.
So you've got Chelsea in the top 4.
Well, we're 4th at the moment, so
Yeah.
I still think that is
But
ridiculous.
realistically, I think we'll come 6th and Newcastle come 4th, Forest come 5th.
But I've in 5th. I've got City. I don't think you can put much higher with the way they've been playing.
No.
Yeah, I just as I said, very inconsistent. I struggle to see it. Is there any sort of reason that you could put City getting into the top 4?
The performance last night against Madrid, I know they did lose, but that performance against arguably the best side in the world was a very good performance. They matched them.
I'd say they matched them.
The argument you can make, Lloyd, is that they've, on paper, got one of the best sides on the planet.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They've got
also,
Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden.
And their injured players are starting to slowly come back. Like John Stones played last night.
It was so hard to not put them in the top 4. Like I
was tempted.
I was so tempted. I was so 50-50.
Right.
But no, I just don't think they'll get it over the line. Like you said, it's the inconsistency. I know they've been coming back as of late, but losing 5-1 to Arsenal and battered by Madrid. Well, not battered by Madrid, but you know what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah.
They were, yeah.
Well, yeah, that Real Madrid game, it could have been 5-2.
It should have
You
been.
think?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I mean, Madrid were the better team.
They had some really good chances in that first half. How Furlong Mendy did not score from about 6-7 yards out. I mean, it was a great block, don't get me wrong, but they were like trying to pass it into the net practically.
No, I didn't see the first half, but the second half, I thought they kind of matched each other. Madrid was slightly better, but they weren't miles better.
Yeah, I mean, so who did you? We've both got Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
Newcastle 5th. Yeah, I think they made. I mean, 5th place still gets Champions League.
I had them 5th originally.
They've got 99.5% chance of getting
I
that
think
5th spot. It's going to happen.
As long as they stay fit, or most of their players stay fit, they'll be.
And I think Eddie Howe's a decent.
Fit.
Eddie Howe's a decent manager. You know, as you said, Alexander Isak, what a player. Gordon as well. Jacob Murphy's having a really good season for them out on the right.
It's time to accept he's a good player now.
You know,
like,
got a
he wasn't.
Well, no, I said he was. I know I said he wasn't before.
Oh, you said.
I said he wasn't before.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of people did. Most people did.
Well, I think he's always been an okay player, but I wouldn't. I still think they need an upgrade there.
I don't know. I think he's been really
they
good.
need an upgrade if they're going to be
Champions
in the
League.
Well,
I mean, there's better players.
They
but
need
he's good.
another option.
Yeah,
because they've only got him on the right wing, or else they have to force Gordon or Harvey Barnes to play on the weaker side.
No.
Who's that?
You just said
Elanga.
No. Anyway, do you want to move on to top 4?
Yeah, top 4 then.
Fourth place, I've got the best team in the world, Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
I think we edge it just. I mean, if we get an injury to Chris Wood, I don't think we get top 4.
Right.
But I just think we've got so much momentum and beating Brighton 7-0.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just going to do us good for the rest of the season. Our tougher games, like your big 6 ones, who we've still got to play, are all at home.
That's good.
I think, apart from Tottenham. Tottenham's the only one that's not.
But
you'll win
fine.
We got Arsenal soon when they don't have their forwards when they're all out. Chelsea's on the last day.
Yeah.
That's a big game.
I have a feeling that won't actually decide anything.
We've also played.
Really?
Yeah, I think it'll be a dead rubber game.
We've also played Liverpool twice already and got 4 points from there. Man United at home. We've still got United at home. So yeah,
we've got us at home to come as well.
Yeah, we've got City at home. And the away games, I think I showed you the other day, our final few fixtures.
Yeah, they're all right.
We've got like Palace, we've got Leicester at home. I think we will just get it.
For that reason,
honestly think we will.
For that reason, I've put Newcastle 4th.
Okay.
Which, you know what that means then with the top 3.
Actually, we do need to play Newcastle away still. So.
But I've got Newcastle 4th.
Newcastle 4th. Who did you have? Did you say?
What, 4th?
Yeah.
I had them like Chelsea.
Chelsea in 4th. Okay. I don't think Chelsea 4th. I don't think it's a terrible shout.
I
think it's a bad.
I don't think
Oh,
it's a
I think
terrible
it's
shout,
like me
like-
predicting Leicester to finish like 16th.
I don't.
But we are
no,
fourth
it's
right
not.
now. That's the thing. It's
Like,
Yeah, but I think it's obvious you're not going to finish there because the drop off in form has been ridiculous recently.
Like,
Never know.
do I think Chelsea are going to end up in
No.
the in the top 4?
No,
Probably not.
definitely not.
But there's a possibility. Like,
yeah.
if the team
not
starts
impossible.
firing again, Cole Palmer starts getting back in the goals, Nicholas Jackson starts firing. His first half of the season form was pretty impressive until about December time.
Well, the thing is, I just realised that he's actually injured, and so is Guiu. So we're
Is he injured as well?
Yeah.
Oh wow! How
Really?
long is he out for?
Yeah,
It's
both
it's
our
only a
strikers,
slight
Guiu
injury, I
and-
think.
Oh, okay. So it's not a long term injury, no.
No, but
Okay.
I think for Brighton,
Brighton.
Kunku's gonna have to start again.
Okay, I see. Who knows? Maybe just start Palmer as a false 9.
I don't know if that would work or not. I also
Why
don't
not?
think
I don't
that's a
think
very
it would.
Maresca tactic.
Why not? Why
I don't
not?
think it works, mate.
I don't
You
think it's
never know.
Maresca.
I don't
Have,
think
have another
do that.
midfielder in there. Maybe have like
Currently, we're playing with
some
10
more
men when
attacking
Kunku plays.
wingers. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've got to like
Yeah, try something.
Something's got to change, and because when Nkunku's been in the starting 11, he's just not been doing it in the league.
But even in the Conference League, when he was scoring, he wasn't involved. Like, you'd watch the game, he would be like the least involved player because he's
Right.
not a striker. He's
Sorry, I really just thought I said City will miss out on Champions League, but fifth gets there.
They'll
Yeah.
get in.
Yeah, they'll get in.
Yeah, I mean,
I just
I
wanted
don't-
to go back to that.
I don't think they will, but everyone
Yeah.
else. So that's
That's
all
confirmed
good.
now,
So
fifth.
then,
Huh?
it's fifth confirmed now.
Pretty-
99.5%
pretty much, yeah.
chance. Yeah. So
Who's third for all of you then?
Newcastle.
well, I've not gone through 4th yet.
Oh, have you
haven't
not?
got
Oh, sorry, no, you
Forest.
haven't, have
Sorry,
you?
I said
sorry.
Nottingham Forest 4th.
Okay.
I'm very
Have I
sorry,
put them highest then?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a surprise.
I think Nottingham Forest 4th. I expect the form to continue. I do think there'll be a little bit of inconsistency. The team that I have in 3rd place, I fully expect them to go on a massive run. Like, we're talking towards the end of the season, one of the best teams in the league, without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Well, I've
So,
just realised who that's going to be because I think
We'll-
I've realised who you've not said yet.
yeah,
Oh my
we'll find
God.
out.
Right. So
Right, for 4th
third-
for me, Nottingham Forest.
Third for me is Nottingham Forest.
Right.
Because I think I was looking at it. I originally had Man City 3rd, Forest 4th, and Newcastle 5th, but I just couldn't put Man City that high. So I just bumped the other two teams up a place. I think Forest are 3rd at the moment. Newcastle I don't think will catch them because they had that 9-game winning run, but they've dropped off in recent weeks. I think they will get back on their horse and carry on. But I don't think they'll be able to catch Forest.
Okay,
And Man City aren't good enough, so I think it's only logical that Forest are 3rd.
right. How about
I've gone City, but I think
City 3rd? Yeah.
I think that's just because when a bit later in the season they'll be out the title race. I think they'll just have nothing to play for in terms of what they used to play.
Right,
for.
okay.
They'll just win a couple games.
I see. And then
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
I just think they've got so much quality. I think they've got the best striker in the league. I'm still
Yeah.
convinced by that. And I think no matter what happens in this cup final against you, it's still going to fire them if they
Yeah.
lose. If
Come
they
on,
win.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle and Forest are interchangeable for me in 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
I think those will be 3rd and 4th.
But
though.
Lloyd's third is interesting.
Yeah, it's relatively interesting. Andoni Iraola's Bournemouth
What? Oh my
to
god!
finish 3rd.
I forgot about that.
Boys, this
I
run
don't think it's that
that
bad.
they're
a prediction.
going
It's
on,
not
I'm
outrageous,
telling you,
but-
this is it's going to happen in terms of their actual run. I don't know whether they'll finish 3rd, but I think they're the 3rd best team in the league. So that's why I've put them in that position. As of right now, this season, the football that they are playing, unbelievable. You said all the injuries as well. I know they've got players playing out of position. They're still performing really well. Lewis Cook at right back, as we've said. Ouattara up top. Semenyo, I mean, he's having one of the... I think he's in the top 3 for most shots in the league this
Yeah.
season. He's an absolute threat. Justin Cliver, of course, scored more goals at St James's Park than his dad ever did, and he played for the football club. They're on
played for the
absolute
month.
fire.
The only reason that I don't like it is because you put them higher than Forest, who I think have been better
That's
than them all
catchable.
season.
I think that's catchable.
No,
7
it is,
points
it
catchable
is.
with 14 games to go.
It
I
is,
definitely think so.
But I just think Forest have been better all season. Newcastle are
not,
better than
Tom.
them.
I don't think maybe defensively, yeah, I'll give defensively.
I
But
think
going
Bournemouth
forward,
are-
Bournemouth I think have been better than Nottingham
I
Forest.
don't-
Oh, yeah.
Other people will look at that
They haven't scored
and
7 goals
think
yet.
that is an absolutely outrageous opinion.
Well,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't think that. I think
I've had
it's a
one or
good.
two. I've had one or two outrageous opinions, but like you just
No,
put. Who did you put? Newcastle 3rd. They're 1 point ahead of Bournemouth. Like there's nothing. It's not.
I think
It's
Newcastle.
possible.
As I was
It's
gonna
more
say,
than possible.
Other people will say that. I don't think it's outrageous at all.
No.
I think it definitely can happen.
No.
I don't think it will happen, but I think it 100%.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest in the Champions League next season.
Yeah.
I think it'd be
And Newcastle,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah, those three
Newcastle.
I think would be brilliant to see. So,
First and second, I think we all
first
have the same.
and second.
Sorry, Liam, but you're not winning the league.
No.
As
Arsenal
everyone-
second.
So Arsenal second.
Arsenal
yeah.
second and Liverpool first.
So why Arsenal second?
Because they're the second best team in the league, and they have been for a while now. It's just who's been ahead of them that's been replaced.
Right.
But they're just not consistent enough to
Liam's not happy.
beat Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool, if they win tonight, are 9 points clear. Then they're not going to catch that, I'm afraid, because I don't. Partly just because I don't see Liverpool dropping 9 points.
Right.
Like over the rest of the season, they've lost what? Is it still one game in the
One
Premier
game in
season?
the Premier League.
Where are they going to randomly drop 3 losses in, or 5 draws? They're not going to do that. Arsenal aren't going to catch them, and the injuries up front now they've got as well. They've got so many
Yeah.
injuries. If Saka was fit, maybe they'd have a chance.
The gap is just getting too big, and Arsenal, like you said, Matt, Arsenal's injuries. It's just
What if Everton win?
Well, the
Then
thing is,
they've got a chance, but I still don't see where are you going to drop the 6 points.
even if you do drop off a bit, Arsenal have injuries, and even
Yeah.
if they didn't, I think they'd still drop points anyway.
Okay.
I don't think Arsenal are good enough, regardless.
The only because Liverpool are out the FA Cup, aren't they?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
about
That's the
to say.
So
plan.
they've got the Champions League, Carabao
But
Cup final, and Premier League to
but
play for.
Arsenal have Champions League as well. I think the only way I can see Arsenal getting there is if they go out in the next round of the Champions League, Liverpool go all the way to the final, have so many fixtures, and it's just too much.
But even then, without Saka, do you think they can?
No,
I,
for me, it's not about Arsenal though. Anyway, it's about Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool are just too good. They're this season.
It's
They're
Liverpool's,
too hard to catch.
It's all on Liverpool, really.
So I mean, like, if Arsenal had this season last season and they carried on how they are, they'd win the league. They would have probably beaten Man City to it. But they're not catching Liverpool this year, no
No.
matter what they do. I don't think, because I think Liverpool will not drop as many points as they'd need to drop for Arsenal to win.
Well, that's exactly what I like to hear, lads. Anyway,
Let's get these up.
let's get some predictions going.
Yes,
Do we
so-
have a name for this, Kian? as of yet? We need to
no,
think of a name.
so we're doing a Henry, and we're still thinking of a name. Uh,
okay.
Call it something different every week.
To the viewers, we've got a new kind of game show coming to Gold Show. It's basically we're predicting 6 results for the next Premier League game week, and you get 3 points for the correct scoreline and 1 point for the correct outcome. We're gonna sort out how the points are shared because the cast on Gold Show is always changing.
Yeah.
So we'll sort that out. But chaps, the first one I want you to predict is Brighton against Chelsea.
Okay. Interesting.
Where is it? Is it at the
It's
Amex?
at Brighton on Friday night.
What are we saying, Ubaid? Chelsea fan? What are we
Mm,
thinking?
If I went with what I actually think, based on recent games,
Right.
I can't do it. I'll just go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea.
I'm hoping. Actually, no, we're not scoring. 1-1. I'll go
1-1.
We're not scoring 2.
Okay.
2-1 Brighton. I think it'll be because they just played in the cup and that was the score. I think it'll be the score again.
Right,
to be honest,
okay. How about you, Kian?
I'm going to go 0-0.
0-0?
I can see it.
I'm saying 1-1. I'm agreeing with Ubaid on that.
So we're all saying a draw.
No, I said 2-1.
No,
Oh,
Matt said Brighton win. The rest of us are
Yeah.
going for
Mm.
a draw.
Brighton beating them in the cup. Although the only argument against it is that Chelsea might be up for revenge after just losing to them in the cup. But
Right.
I don't see it. I don't see them as that kind of squad that's going to be like, we want revenge.
Okay.
Next one, I'm going to go for the early kickoff on Saturday, Leicester City against Arsenal. I think I'm going to go with a 2-0 Arsenal.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be that bad.
See, it's hard because Arsenal have so many injuries, and I don't
Yeah.
know what they're going to play because they can't really play a striker.
No.
They've got Nwaneri and who else? Trossard on the wings. Trossard hasn't been great this season. Nwaneri scares me a lot. I'd be more scared of him starting than a lot of Arsenal's attackers, to be honest. Like, I'd be more scared of him than Havertz. But it's I don't know who plays up front for them. That's the hard thing. I don't know where their goals are going to come from. If we play the filthiest low block, they're not going to score
Right.
with the players they have.
So,
But they're gonna beat us.
what are you saying?
My heart wants to say 1-0 loss, but I'm gonna say a 3-0 loss.
3-0 loss.
I'll go 1-0 Arsenal. It'll be a deflected goal or something.
Okay. I'm going to say 2-0.
The thing is, 1-0 is
Yeah.
1-0 is a sensible one because every single time we play Arsenal at the King Power, it's always like a 1-0 or a 2-0 win. It's never anything more. But I'm saying 3-0.
Right. Okay.
Let's quickly go through these last few. So the next one I'm going to say Fulham against Forest. As a Forest fan, I'm going to say 2-2
Is it at Fulham?
at Fulham.
2-1 to Forest.
Love that, Matt.
I was going to say.
Wow.
I'll go that 2-1 Forest.
0-0.
0-0. Wow.
0-0.
There's no goals in that.
I don't think so, no.
I
I
think-
can see it. I can see it. Both good defense.
Things I don't think Fulham have that many good players going forward, which is why I think Forest will win. Well, they've got good players going forward,
Yeah,
but not
I was
as good
gonna
as
say.
Forest. Compared to your defenders, is what I mean. Like if you're comparing them up against Murillo and Milenkovic.
I mean,
Yeah.
Anderson's been good. No?
Yeah,
Robinson?
but
Robinson
Wood
get
is
in?
one of the most informed strikers in the league.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, of course.
I think 2-1.
Anyway.
Okay.
You were 0-0, weren't you?
Yes.
Man City, Newcastle. I'm going to go 3-1 to Newcastle.
I want that as well. 3-1
Okay.
Newcastle.
Where's it at?
City.
3-1
Oh,
Newcastle.
actually, no, 2-1. 2-1 Newcastle.
I'll say 3-1.
Okay.
I'll go 2-1. I'll go 2-2.
2-2.
That was going to be mine, Ubaid.
You can do
Yeah,
it.
You can
2-2.
keep it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying 2-1
I think
now.
so.
2-2.
2-2.
So let's do the last
That'd be
two.
a massive win for Newcastle. Like,
I- I-
3-1.
I don't
Wow.
see
I
City
think
winning
they do it, man. I think they do it.
Wow.
I think if they'd have beaten Real Madrid, they'd have been up for it. But I just think they're going to be so deflated the way they conceded that last goal.
Maybe.
I am actually going to change to one of the fixtures that I said originally
Right.
because I think it only goes one way. Palace Everton. I'm going to say a 1-0 Everton
It's at Palace, isn't
at
it?
Palace. Late kick. half
Wow,
kickoff.
really?
I think Everton
Palace
sneak
to
it.
lose at Selhurst Park to Everton. I don't know.
1-1. 1-1.
I was going to go 1-1 as well. I'll go 2-1. 2-1 Palace.
2-0 Crystal Palace.
Ooh.
And finally, I'm going to do Tottenham against Manchester United.
God, it's a banter club
That,
battle.
yeah, that is.
That could be
that's
any
so
score.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that could go 5-0 either way. 0-0, 4-0 one way.
2-1 United.
Okay.
I'm going to go 2-1 United as well.
3-3.
I was going to do that, but I thought against it.
I could see there being goals galore in that
I'm
game,
going
you know.
3-2 to United.
Okay.
I think there's going to be a lot of goals.
Right. So that's the predictions done.
Yeah,
and that is the perfect way to end this episode of The Gold Show here on the Blue Podcast Network. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time we upload. Check us out on all of our other socials as well. There'll be the link in the description with all of that. Thank you for watching. We'll see you for the next one. Take care.